Today I am out in my kitchen garden to harvest, and the vegetable for today is Brussels sprouts. I think they are amazing. They look so beautiful while standing here in the kitchen garden, and they always make me happy when I come checking underneath the nets. I keep the net on top of the plants also in fall, and that is to prevent like deers and rabbits to come have a dinner in my garden, and it works very fine. I also use the net in summertime to prevent butterflies and moths from laying eggs underneath the leaves. And you know, I get a lot of caterpillars if I don't put net on top of the plants. I prefer to harvest my Brussels sprouts before it gets too cold. They are hardy in a way, but the winters here in Sweden could be quite difficult. And that is because it gets really cold sometimes. We could have like 30 degrees minus in winter, but we could also have 10 degrees like plus. And that makes a huge difference in like temperatures. And when the Brussels sprouts freeze, it's no problem. But when they freeze and thaw over and over again, there might be a problem, so they rot. And this vegetable is so very valuable to me. It's one of my favorite brassicas, so I don't want to lose them. And that is why I prefer to harvest before it gets too cold. They have already been through plenty of frost nights, so I think this is like enough. As you can see, the plants have quite big Brussels sprouts here, and on top of the plants they are smaller. So now when I harvest, I take only the big ones and I leave the small ones until later on, because it is now in the beginning of November, and if we are very lucky, we have a warm and sunny November, and that means that the Brussels sprouts could actually grow a bit more. So I leave the small ones in hope that they will get a bit bigger so that I can harvest them later on. Brussels sprouts are very good, I think, to grow because they are easy to store and use in your cooking. So what I do is that I pick them and I remove like the dirty outer leaves, and then I simply boil them for a minute or two, and I put them into cold water so that the boiling process will stop. And then I simply put them in a bag or a box in the freezer. And whenever I want to use them, I simply pick as many as I want. Usually I cut them in halves and I fry them like in butter with some garlic. It is so super tasty, and it's easy to cook it as well. Brussels sprouts could be the one and only favorite among the brassicas for me because of the difference in taste when it comes to like comparing the homegrown Brussels sprouts and the bought Brussels sprouts from the supermarket. But the homegrown Brussels sprouts, I think, always is super tasty. So I prefer to grow a lot of Brussels sprouts in my garden. I have made a guide on how to grow Brussels sprouts at home, and I put a link in the description below if you want to read it and get to know how to get started with Brussels sprouts. I mean, this is a vegetable that you have to sow long before you harvest, so you have to be well prepared if you want to have it in your garden. Thank you for watching today, and have a nice time in your garden. Don't forget to subscribe Sara's Kitchen Garden at YouTube. Bye bye!